What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Homegrown career mode. This is episode number 31. And we start today's episode with some confirmation error, tournament prize money, and a match rescheduled emails as well after our progress to the Europa League knockout stages. Top of the group after our victory over Olympiacos in Greece in the last game, in the last episode. And also interestingly enough, the ball came to us here and said we weren't on track with our brand exposure objective, which is to increase our season ticket holders in the space of 3 years with Southampton. But I've always been pretty curious about that objective, and quite a few of the off-the-pitch objectives as well in career mode since they first came into the game, because some of them there are no guidelines as to how you actually achieve the objectives. You're just told you need to do them, but you don't know how to do them, and that's one of them right there as well. And I think it's also one of those ones where the progress bar never fills up, regardless of whether you're making progress in the allotted time or not. It's a complex one. It's never really been explained fully by EA. No surprise, but yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting objective, and again, I just wish they would give you like a little guideline as to how you achieve those sort of things. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But still, for the first game of 3 in today's episode, we return back home to England, but not at home at St Mary's, as we return to Premier League duties away at Turf Moor against Burnley, as we went in search of our back-to-back victories in the Premier League and 3 wins in a row for the first time in quite some time for Southampton in all competitions. First chance fell to us, Redmond denied by Heaton, and then 22 minutes into the game, Gareth Bale, who's in a bit of a scoring slump of late, hasn't scored that many goals for us in recent weeks despite being our top scorer with 8 goals this season, blazed a shot over the bar from about 4 yards out and should have made it 1-0, but instead Burnley took the lead just before the break. And how about this for a goal scorer for Burnley? It's Ryan Babel back in the Premier League, now playing for the Clarets, fires Burnley in front and makes it 1-0 right before the break. Cedric beating his near post, and I've got to say, near post goals in this year's FIFA are absolutely crazy, man. They are so OP. But Babel with the finish, and the Dutchman makes it 1-0 there. And well, Liverpool fans would know he at times wasn't very consistent for Liverpool, but he always showed glimpses of real talent. So 1-0 Burnley in front. But 69 minutes in, we had a great chance to get back on level terms, and I can't believe it, but we would do just that through, guess who? Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott hadn't scored a single goal all season long, and now he's got 3 goals in 3 Premier League games. Absolutely nuts. Where has Theo been all season, man? Seriously, such a slow start. You don't say that about Theo very often to this season, but now he's got 3 goals in 3 games. He's found his shooting boots once again, and Walcott, what a brilliant finish there as well. In off the underside of the crossbar as it clips the woodwork and goes into the back of the net. So Burnley won, Southampton won. We played really well in this game as well, and suppose we should have won it. Shaw down left-hand side beat Barnsley, crossed the ball to the far post, and Nathan Redmond had a golden chance to win us the game with 10 minutes to go, but his acrobatic effort went sailing way over the bar and behind for a goal kick, and that was how the game finished. Final score at Turf Moor, Burnley won, Southampton won. Both mid-table sides settled for a point, but it was one of those games where I felt we should have won it. You know, we had the chances, just didn't take them, and Burnley got themselves a point courtesy of Ryan Babel. How great is that to see Ryan Babel back in the Premier League? I mean, not great for us, he scored against us, but either way, it's great to see, isn't it, as Babel got Burnley's goal there. And in the end, the game finished as a draw. But following that, some more player training for Cook, Lewis, Cedric and Collins. Lewis is taking ages to hit 60 overall, man. I want to find out what his potential is, but he's still 59 rated so far. And also, here we go, the Europa League round of 32 draw has now been made, and Southampton will be taking on, dun dun dun, Olympique Lyonnais in the round of 32. The French side over 2 legs. First leg coming away in France. And that's going to be a fun tie. Certainly one I believe we can get through, but not an easy one, that's for sure. There's a tasty tie in there if you saw it. Paris Saint-Germain against Borussia Dortmund in the Europa League round of 32. What a big clash that's going to be. But either way, following that, we saw afterwards that Andrew Sermon is out of contract in the summer at 33 years old. Could be poached away on a free transfer come the end of the season, and a deal can be made in January. Now, I delegated his contract renewal to the assistant manager, and the wage was fine, but I didn't realise this when the agreement was made. It said contract length 1 year, and I assumed that meant, because he's only got 7 months left, that'll be 1 year and 7 months. He'll get an extra year on the contract, but instead, the contract length did not get increased. So I don't really understand that, because it said contract length 1 year. But it's not 1 year on his contract, it's 7 months. It's less than a year, that's 5 months less than a full year. So in the end, we gave Sermon a contract, it got rid of his release clause, it kept the salary the same, and the contract length did not get increased. So Sermon can still leave if he wants to in January. And I was like, seriously, assistant manager? You may as well not even bothered. But either way, Sermon's probably going to leave come the end of the season anyway. I wanted to give him a new deal, at least a new one-year deal. That was the plan anyway, initially. But if he does leave, that's totally fine. We got Harrison Reed that can play there. He's only one rating lower than Sermon right now. Very good defence-minded midfielder. And then we've got, of course, Jackson that can play through the middle of the park as well. There's quite a few options, really. We can play through the middle of the park. Sermon's 33 years old. If he wants to go, that's fine with me. But I'm quite annoyed about that. It shouldn't say contract length 1 year if it doesn't increase by a year, because there's less than a year left. So therefore, if it still said contract length 7 months, then there'd be no ambiguity. But instead, I assumed it meant 1 year extension. But my fault, never mind. But again, doesn't really matter either way. Not too fussed. Still, for the second of 3 games in today's episode, we will take on Leeds United back here at St Mary's as the newly promoted side would come and take us on. And right from kickoff, we had the first chance of the game as Redmond stormed down the left-hand side, played it into Gareth Bale, and his ears were burning. I discussed it in the Burnley game. Hadn't scored a goal in quite a few games now, Gareth Bale. His last goal came against Spurs, I believe 5 games ago, or possibly 6 games ago now. So how great was it to see Gareth Bale notch up another goal for us once again? He's still our top scorer this season. That's his 9th of the year. Redmond plays him through, and Bale this time, unlike at Turf Moor, was not going to miss the target. Smashed it past the keeper into the back of the net, and there's your confirmation. 9 goals in the Premier League for Gareth Bale. Still our top scorer this season, and a key one there to put us up early here against Leeds United. But 11 minutes in, once again, Cedric was at it once more. This goalkeeper, man, I'm loving him so far already. 8 clean sheets in the Premier League season, and he's going for his 9th here, and what a save this was to deny Adam Forshaw, I think it was. Excellent strike, even better save. But how many times have we seen it this season? It's 3 or possibly 4 times now. Cedric makes an incredible save, pushes the shot behind for a corner, but from the corner, the opponents score. Ball into the centre, header in on goal, and I don't understand this, man, but why even bother having a man on the post sometimes? Because they sometimes never jump. They sometimes just get out of the way. Luke Shaw there with lead in his boots, didn't want to jump. Cedric can't get to it. It's a wonderful header though. It's right into the top corner, but either way, man, seriously, Shaw not doing his job there, and just let the ball sail over his head and into the back of the net. However, 6 minutes after the restart, we would restore our lead, and after Leeds score from a corner of their own, we wanted to do the same to them in the second half, give them the taste of their own medicine, and Gareth Bale bags a brace in this game as well. No goal since the Spurs game, now notches up 2 in the same game to reach double digits for the season, 10 in the Premier League, I believe 12 in all competitions. Great delivery by Ward-Prowse, and Bale's got a few goals in his head this season, most of course coming with the left foot of his, but either way, another goal there, it's 2-1, and we retake the lead. So Southampton 2, Leeds 1, but I've got to be honest in this game, despite Cedric losing his clean sheet, he was looking like an absolute madman out there. You saw in the last episode against Admiral Vaca, we just could not beat the goalkeeper. Leeds had the same problem against our young French talent in this game. Our number 1 was just on fire, and I was really sceptical about making him our number 1 this year, but I'm so glad I did, because in stoppage time, as we were holding on to the 3 points, Kemar Roof was sent forward for Leeds United, and Cedric, with a brilliant one-on-one stop, denies him, keeps the score at 2-1, and ensures we get the 3 points. So final score, Southampton 2, Leeds 1. Well, you look at the stats here, Leeds deserved at least a point in this game, but the reason they didn't get it was Cedric and Real. Bale and him can share the champagne together, although Cedric's not old enough to drink it yet. But either way, Bale's 2 goals, great, but Cedric's man of the match display for me was absolutely fantastic. Some absolutely brilliant saves in that game. He may not get another clean sheet on his pursuit for the Golden Glove, but either way, the saves in that match, man, particularly that one at the end there to deny Roof, absolutely brilliant, and what a great save. But still, following that, we would head into the 3rd and final game today against Fulham away at Craven Cottage.
In front of our cameras today, the Welsh wizard himself, Gareth Bale, leading scorer so far this season. He wants more today, I'm sure, and it's live.
Where Gareth Bale was now the top scorer in the Premier League once again. His brace against Burnley sees him retake the lead in the race for the Golden Boot. And right now we're definitely questioning, is there going to be a chance of the Golden Boot for Gareth Bale come this season? Because he's going for it. He is definitely going for it. He's had a great start to the season back at St Mary's here, playing up front. And I'd love it if Gareth Bale could win the Golden Boot in his return to St Mary's in his second stint, I should say, with the club from the South Coast. But yeah, for the third and final game today, so it was indeed Fulham away at Craven Cottage. Just just real briefly on this as well, some of you guys have been asking me what's going on with the new career mode, what's happening, when's it starting. I did say that I'm waiting for the face scans to be added. That's what you guys voted for on Twitter, and of course I always honour my polls, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with EA. They normally get added right away in the first patch in November, but that's not happened. We're still waiting for the face scans for all the Fulham players and all the new promoted teams as well. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell you more than that. I have no idea what's going on, and it's up to EA. Until they put the face scans in, I don't really want to start because I don't want to go against what you guys voted for in the poll. But still, heading into the game regardless, there was nothing to report in the first half, but in the second half, Fulham had a great chance to make it 1-0 as that shot clipped the post. But 10 minutes after the restart from the goal kick, we passed out from the back, and it was discussed pre-game, and so often when a player is talked about pre-game, he plays well during the game, and Gareth Bale makes it 3 goals in 2 games and puts us in front 10 minutes after the restart to celebrate with the fans in the away end. And as well, if anyone is a Fulham fan watching this episode here, do you guys still have the neutral end in Craven Cottage? Because when I went there a few years ago with Millwall, I remember there was a neutral stand next to the away stand, and it's a nice idea, but I'm not sure it's really suited to modern day football. Do you guys still have that? I genuinely don't know. But anyway, Bale makes it 1-0 and puts us in front. But a great chance to make it 2-0 fell here. A lovely build-up saw James Ward-Prowse storming through one-on-one with Fabricio, put the ball past the Spaniard, but also past the post as well, as it was still 1-0. Fulham are going to search that late equalising goal of 81 minutes on the clock, but once again, Cedric was on fire in this game. I am loving this 17-year-old so much, man, seriously. He's absolutely fantastic. But just like against Leeds, from the resulting corner, a header comes in, but this time it works. The header goes over Cedric. It's going to find the back of it, but Luke Shaw, we gave him a massive rollicking after the game against Leeds for not jumping, being too cowardice as Leeds got back on level terms. But this time he leaps like a salmon, heads it off the line, keeps it at 1-0, and after the final chance was snuffed out there by Cedric, that was how the game finished. Final score at Craven Cottage, Fulham 0, Southampton 1. Absolutely buzzing to get another clean sheet for Cedric. Last one, of course, coming against Wolves in the last episode, and Shaw had to give him the man of the match. He redeemed himself. Fair play to Luke Shaw. Make sure we lead the 3 points, and a big win there puts us into the top 4, 1 game before the halfway point in the Premier League. But that was today's episode of the Homegrown Career Mode, guys. So massive thank you for watching, and hope you have enjoyed it. Enjoy your weekend. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Homegrown Career very soon, as the January transfer window will open. Bye.